exclusive, a horrific story of human trafficking. It is modern day slavery. People are being exploited, either sexually or for forced labor. So what is it like being a victim? Fox 29's Stephanie Esposito has part 2 of her report. Stephanie.
That's right. Well, at 5 o'clock, we introduced to you Helene, a woman who survived sex trafficking for more than 30 years. Now, she was first sold into the business when she was only 15 years old. And Helene isn't alone. Studies show that 85% of the women who are viewed as prostitutes are actually victims of sex trafficking. And that statistic is true right here in Philadelphia and the Lehigh Valley.
The average age girls enter or get involved in prostitution is 12 to 13. So we're talking minors from the start.
Babies in your neighborhood being brainwashed, raped, and moved across the country for one of the most lucrative black market businesses in the world.
I just went along with it because my mind being trained at such a young age, I didn't really realize until just years ago that I was in bondage, that I was being controlled.
Helene was one of the older ones, trafficked at 15 after running away from her home in the Lehigh Valley. A troubled upbringing, but a good kid, Helene fit the profile for a human trafficking target. She lost her virginity to a trafficker who pretended to love her, promised her the world, but then beat her, repeatedly sold her, and got her hooked on drugs.
One pimp said that he calls himself the street psychologist because they know it's a mental game. It's this, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Valley Against Sex Trafficking in Allentown provides support to young men and women who are trafficked. VAST wants to break the misconceptions that victims of trafficking are prostitutes.
If you have prostitution, you have sex trafficking.
85% of alleged prostitutes are really trafficking victims, free to walk the streets and solicit business, but trailed by their owner, who gets all of the rewards and has little risk.
You have people posing as Johns and buyers, and so the girls are the ones that are getting arrested. And the pimps are always in the background, but they might not be in the hotel room when it happens or when the girls get raided.
In January, progress came to Pennsylvania in the form of the state's first human trafficking conviction. Derek Alston and Amanda Scott pled guilty to human trafficking in Delaware County. But victims advocates like VAST say there's still much more to do.
In Pennsylvania, right now, there's SB 338, a national hotline bill that's trying to be passed, which would mean mandatory posting of the hotline number in bars.
For Helene, it wasn't a poster, but a greeting card that set her free. She was serving time for prostitution when a prison ministry scribbled down this proverb: "In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight." 7 years free from trafficking and drugs, and Helene says he is the only one who ever kept a promise to her.
If you're a victim of sex trafficking, reach out to someone. Don't sit back and keep it a secret. Don't turn around and think that this is what it has to be like I did. Don't feel as though that your soul is worthless.
Victims advocates believe that there are countless people out there just like Helene suffering at the hands of traffickers. If you are one of them, there is a way out. Call the number on our screen. Now, as for that Senate bill that would make it mandatory to post trafficking hotlines in the bars and truck stops, it's currently waiting for a vote.